thought from Joy, giving us what it takes to speak awesomely well and communicate in a way someone can understand. I believe you can hear my voice. I think so. I think so. So we apologize for the little challenge on the network, and I believe this is a very awesome, awesome thought Joyce is sharing here. I just want you to relax and okay, that's good. That's good. So they can hear me now. So we're having a challenge here. I believe Joy will come back. This is awesome for you to listen to what she's saying. She's really giving us some steps on how to communicate well. Okay, I hope she'll be back. Okay, and if it doesn't work, I must bring her back because we need Joy to give us the secret of communicating well, because we are into the digital world. This is the new normal. A lot of things in 2021 will be done online. Okay, so for you to appear online, you have to learn how to communicate effectively, to your audience, communicate in a way they can understand. And I believe Joy coming here is a very, very awesome move for you to understand how you are going to position your brand, your business. Yes, communication is very important. So someone is taking notes already. Okay, so Joy will fix her stuff. Should be back. Okay, so now let me talk about little. Okay, she's back. I hope it will work now. We don't need to miss this.
Okay.
Hello?
I think I'm back.
Yeah, it's okay now. It's okay
Plenty,
now. Go on.
plenty apologies.
Okay, how is my
Okay.
voice now? Hope
So I was,
my voice work?
is yes, it is.
Okay,
So
go
I
on.
was saying that right after awareness, the next step
Yeah.
is to imitate and to repeat. In the world of elocution, we usually call this skill shadowing, to shadow, like to
Okay.
imitate.
Okay.
It's true that a very popular person has said that imitation is limitation, but
Yeah.
usually imitation is usually a very important skill to have. Yes,
Okay.
imitation is usually a very important skill to have. You have to first of all imitate, learn to
Yeah.
repeat after the person you've been aware of after your assessment level. Okay, it's then with time that you get to leave that imitation stage and then make something of yourself.
Mm.
Remember, I said earlier, the definition of the word extraordinary is just the extra you do on the ordinary. So at some
Yeah.
point, you may have to look at that person you're imitating as ordinary and you do something extra to make sure that you are sounding or speaking or presenting yourself as an extraordinary person.
Yeah.
Okay, so still on that third stage, you go a little further by learning patterns. You learn the patterns of words, patterns of your presentation.
Okay.
You learn your integration, your intonation, and finally the integration into live speech. These are very important. For me, I usually tell people to pay attention to a lot of cartoons. They help. And I have a workshop I'm going to be presenting at a school tomorrow. And one of the advice I'm going to be giving the teachers is pay attention to cartoons. Pay attention to the movies around you. Don't just look at the movie. Remember I said the art of listening is important. Don't just watch the movie. Pick something new. I didn't used to be an elocutionist all my life. I wasn't born as an elocutionist. Remember, some people have it naturally, some had to acquire the skill, like any other skill.
Yes.
So, how did I learn to do it? I learned to do it by listening. I paid attention to every music, to every song I hear. There must be at least two words. Every foreign song that I hear, there must be at least two words. I'm picking new. So people who have known me from my past are not surprised by what I currently do because they know that that's how she's always been. I'm that one girl who picks a word that's different. I'm excited about it. Oh, I've actually learned this word today. And that word is an addition to my elocutionary vocabulary. Give a couple of examples because there's so many things to cover, and we don't have a lot of time. We've taken quite a lot of time. There's just so many things to cover. But I'm just going to run through some words with us. I have something here. I don't know if it's showing in a mirrored version. Um,
Yes, yes.
I don't know if it's showing in a. I hope it's not showing in a mirrored version. Okay, so
It's okay.
if an average right speaking person is okay, great. If an average white person or an average English person is going to pronounce that first word in there, they would pay attention to the second letter, the A
Okay.
there, pronouncing it as A. So the pronunciation you'd have would sound like table, as against the table that we say. It would sound table, table. Like the A sound has a length to it.
Okay.
It has a sound to it. And that's the beauty. Because you are just thinking, oh, I'm pronouncing my words right, but you're actually not doing it. There's something extra that they say to it. And so the extra is the A sound to the word table. So that's an example of where there can be a challenge with the the sound of a word. Sometimes the sound that we have in our indigenous languages are not the
Yes.
same with the sounds you have in English language, and which can prove to be a problem because now you have to inculcate newer sounds into the sound bank you already have. So the A sound, for example, doesn't exist in our indigenous languages. It only exists in the English language. A in table. Okay, secondly, this for this word, the next set of words is going to be the challenge here is going to be with the pattern of the word. Remember, I mentioned one of the steps that said we're going to learn pattern, to learn the patterns of words, to also imitate and learn patterns of words. So here, there's a problem with the pattern. Most of our indigenous languages are used to favoring the second syllable of the word. But in English language, with nouns, a lot of nouns that have two syllables, they don't favor the second syllable. They usually favor the first syllable of the word. If the favor is second syllable, then most likely that word is a borrowed word or an exceptional word.
Okay.
For example, here in the second word, what we actually have is the word petrol. I don't know if that's clear enough. So the word is pronounced petrol. I mean, here in Africa, we say petrol.
Yes.
But I'm thinking if you're seated at an interview table, you're working and you're choosing to perhaps get a job in an oil and gas company, maybe what will strike you about them, maybe what will strike you on the interview table before the panel might just be the fact that, oh, that young man who pronounced the word as petrol. Like, so I'm doing this and I'm doing petrol. And you're not saying petrol like every average person. It's just something you're living with them. That's your extraordinary. That's your extraordinary. That's the extra you're doing on the ordinary. You leave a lasting impression with them. Okay? Then the same thing happens with the third word. First of all, I have the sound O and not O, like a lot of people would say, my letter O here, saying the O sound in the word colleague. So that's Colleague in the word colleague. Now, a lot of people will say colleague, who is my colleague, and we're not paying a lot of attention to it. But if somebody comes on board and says, oh, she's my colleague, it just has a different feel. You're leaving a lasting impression with them because you're speaking outside the norm. And as I said, um, elocutionary skills is important in effective communication. It has a way of making something stick. It just sticks differently to a listener, not a hearer, a listener. And lastly, I have the word plantain, and we're cool with it. And but actually, the word is pronounced plantain. So the last three words, as I said, are just problems with patterns, not favoring the second syllable, but favoring the first syllable. And in the first word, the issue is with the sound. Now, let me leave this with like as a final, as a parting note. When you begin your skills, when you begin to want to acquire these elocutionary skills, you're going to come across challenge or challenges, which is normal for every other, like with, like you have with every other issue. Quite a couple of your friends are probably going to come up to say, "Oh, you don't have to do this. You don't have to." But first of all, I believe I'm talking with adults. You know what's good for you.
Yeah.
You know what's obtainable. Remember, I'm not saying throw your accent away. I'm just saying go the extra mile and pronounce a word well. I mean, the day you stop learning is the day you start to die. So why not have an additional skill? A lot of people want to learn a foreign language, but you're not done with the language that is your lingua franca. At least after your native language, the English language, the lingua franca, you're not done with that particular one. You're not done learning the rules of that language, and you're done learning how it works. Why do you want to take up a foreign language? When you think you've not learned, you've not grasped everything that is embedded in the English language, why do you want to go an extra mile learning something else when you're not done with one? So don't stop living an incomplete life and then learn to tackle your challenges. If really it's what you want to do, I can't force it on anybody. But if really it is what you want to do, then you should know how to approach the people who would discourage you. I think in the last maybe 8 years, I've never had to come in contact with somebody who was to challenge what I do or speak against what I do because I've learned to put a sheet around myself and say, no, you can't get into the circle. Maybe until last week. And it was a lot of work having to defend myself. It was a lot of work having to bring up a scissors and cut this person off. But that's the way it works for me. If you really want to do something, and you should do it, as with every other thing, a lot of people will snicker, they will have stuff to say, but like Ben Carson's mother told Ben Carson, what people have to say about you is actually none of your business. If you have a goal, then just go ahead and do the goal. And your goal should be having to work on improving your communication skills through elocutionary skills. Okay, so I think that's all for now. I
Wow.
don't know if there's a question or if anybody is willing to answer
Definitely, there
something.
must be a question. This is a full class, I must tell you. It's very interesting. I'm enjoying it already. In fact, I'm interested in speaking like you.
Okay, okay. Glad to hear that. Oh, oh, brilliant. Then I have a page. I have a page that I run once a week. I do videos or I do write ups
Okay.
once a week. So if you just click Wealthy Bell, which is the name I have on my screen, Joy Wealthy Bell. If you just type rather
Okay.
Wealthy Bell
Okay.
on Facebook or Instagram, it just take you right to my page. I think the Instagram page is actually the same because I run a page. My personal page is different from my work page.
Okay.
So my personal page, you probably see a very hilarious young woman, somebody who likes to play and post a lot of funny things. But on my elocution page, you're gonna see tons of videos to learn from, a lot of things to learn from. Yeah, because I mean, life is a combination of so
Yeah,
many
it's
things.
true.
So don't judge me by what you see on my wall. Go to my page, and you're gonna find that. Just type in Wealthy Bell or elocution with Wealthy Bell. There are tons of videos for you to learn
Okay.
from.
I haven't been to those pages you have just mentioned now. I just listened to one of your live videos on your timeline, and I checked. I haven't been to those, but I just listened to one video. We are just walking on the way. You're just talking. There was nothing special. What I saw was what you represent. I said, no, we have to bring this person in. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yeah. So I want to. Someone may ask this question on how can someone learn how to speak, communicate well? What are the processes? Is there any process? Do you have any course? What do you advise the person to do, to speak well? This is a global world, so we have to speak like a global citizen.
Yeah, I already mentioned it earlier. I said the most
Okay.
important skill you need to have is the skill of listening. You have to pay more
Okay.
attention. Yes, you have to pay more attention. I went to series of schools for my educational skills, but beyond that,
Okay.
I developed the skill of listening. I listen to everything with
Okay.
around my environment, because this is not a skill you're going to get from reading a book. You're not going
Yeah.
to get it from reading a book. You're going to get it by listening. So
Okay.
there are videos, yes, there are movies of people, because not every movie will probably teach you how to speak well, because you have the Black American
Yeah.
people who tend to sometimes speak, you know, what we like to call gutter English.
Yeah.
But still, there are a couple of things you can learn. Yes, a couple of things you can learn from paying attention to, oh, excuse me, paying attention to all of those different movies that you see. So do a take home. Do a take home.
Okay.
When you see a movie, when you see cartoons are really the best. They're really the best. And then there's just somebody for you to shadow out there. There are many people you can shadow. I have
Okay.
someone I shadow. I shadow Amapor of
Okay.
CNN. Okay, so I shadow Amapor of CNN. I've shadowed her so much that I think there are people who then say, "Oh, when I hear you speak, I just remember Amapor," and I'm like, "Yes, so I'm getting it right. I'm doing something right." People listen to me speak and they think, "Oh, she sounds like I'm a poor," then I think I'm doing something right. So that's how it works. So pay attention to your environment, be aware of the people around you who do the same thing. They're within your circle. I mean, there's even a virtual global world right now. They
Yeah.
don't even have to be in your environment, your physical environment. It could be within your virtual environment
Yes,
where you
like we
just
are
listen
doing
to
now.
and take exactly and just take on something new. And then this next second skill is the skill of consistency.
Okay.
Imagine that I've been an elocutionist for over 15 years, and you wonder, oh, so
Wow.
how old is she, or why does she have 15 years of skills like that? That tells you that consistency is key, such that when people think about a particular work, they think about you. Maybe we think in terms of, oh, I think I know somebody who could do this. They think in terms of you. In fact, one of the reasons why I got cut off earlier from this particular video is because somebody was trying to contact me to say, oh, I wanted to do a voice job for me. And that's how it works. So that's an additional skill. And I tell people, nothing puts food on my table beyond this. This is how I survive. This is how I have worked for over 15 years. This is how I have lived for over 15 years. So if it's paying my bills, and I don't owe anybody. I mean, I don't know if anyone is going to come now and say, "Oh, I think Joy owes me some money." So I don't owe anybody. I'm living what I think is one of the good life. Maybe not the best yet. We're still hoping for better life. So I mean, if it does that for me on the regular, then I don't think it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, and it's legal anyway. So to
Yeah.
just surround yourself with the right persons to make this happen. And there are lessons. If you Google elocution Google
Okay.
elocution, you're gonna find tons of free materials that would help you know, learn what to do. So listen, be consistent. I think those two words just wrap up
Wow.
um, how people.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. You said when we chatted, you said like 20 minutes, but look at what we have 45, close to 45 minutes here. Thank you very much. We have taken your time. I know you have a lot of things to do, but you have given us awesome, awesome teachings here now. I'm so excited. Thank you very much. In fact, I think we need to do something together. We need to do something together because um, I do more of virtual meeting, and I've seen the importance of it. I've seen the results. It's really giving me a lot of exposure, and I believe I need to be sincere to myself to work on that so I will speak like you.
Hey, great. That would be really great. It would be really great. I'm sorry to take us back, but I was speaking with a friend yesterday who came around, because from time to time I run classes on, like, virtual classes with colleagues, senior colleagues of mine. So for me, I feel for some people it's not an opportunity to pass up. Although my senior colleagues are saying, "Oh, Joy, we can't do this thing and make it free again. It has to be a paid class." But I was talking to a friend yesterday and I said, There's a particular dude in the city of Ibadan, quite good at what he does. He's into the clothing industry. And then they held a conference called the Ibadan Conference, and they brought in people like Timmy, is it Jimmy Tewe? Yes, Jimmy Tewe, Steve Harris. I mean, these are big guys. Fela Drotoy. They came to speak in Ibadan, and this man happened to be. I was opportune to. Oh, I had the opportunity rather to be one of the serving people. I think I hosted the red carpet that
Okay.
year when they had that particular conference. I hosted a red carpet with another person. Now, the point is, when this guy was brought to speak, he had a lot of business ideas. But I told my friend there, I said, this guy cannot last. I said, this guy cannot last on this speaking skills. He would, people are just going to push him off the stage really quickly. And it happened just the way I predicted. His speaking skills
Oh,
were really zero. He had a lot of knowledge, but there was no way to express them. He had no way to express them. If speaking wasn't important, Felajo Toye wouldn't be speaking well. Hello. If speaking skills were not important, Steve Harris, Jimmy Terry, and the rest of them would not be doing what they do. Mommy Felix Adejumo was talking about how um, Bishop T.D. Jakes mentioned her name in the United States of America when she visited last. And immediately she said that, her intonation changed. It just changed. I noticed it was my church. So it was funny to me, but I'm thinking even someone like her would want a situation where she'll be able to speak on an international level. And the only way to achieve that is when you speak well. So, I mean, it's usually a plus. I know I know all of the pluses it has given to me. So yes, everybody should convert this particular skill because it's very useful and it pays the bills.
very, very important. Thank you very much. See, I'm a sincere person. I believe speaking skills is a great, communication skills is a very great, plus to someone that is going global. Okay, so I believe maybe after now we can put things together, we can collaborate, let people know the importance of this skill. A lot of people are speaking, they're public speakers, but they need some, they need to, they need to fill some gaps in their, speaking engagement and opportunities. So I believe it would be awesome, for us to do something like this. And people, I believe a lot of people will be, they will have, they will be like, they will like to be part of it. I believe they will like, to be part of it because I know most people that want to communicate, they have the content, but the expression is the challenge. Okay, they have the content, but the expression of it is a challenge to them. Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm so excited. Now, after that, I'm going to edit the video and remove those stuff we have. Then the main stuff is for because you have done excellent. I don't think we had any distraction because we were able to cover up. You were able to cover up everything. I'm so excited. Thank you very much. Thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
All right. Do you have any program? Do you have any program?
You're welcome. Thank you. It's my pleasure. It'd be good to do further things with you and also know you personally. Yeah, from time to time, like at least 2, 3 times in a year, we usually hold elocution with Wealthy Biola and Priscilla. Um, we started 2 years ago. We started free, but we're not going to go free because we're hoping to go to the intermediate level. I don't know if our advert was strong enough then because quite a lot of number of people say, oh, they missed the class and everything. But we tried, we did what we could then. So when we have such, we're going to have such maybe in February next year, 2021.
Yeah, better,
So I'll be sure to inform
better,
you to let you know.
better. Thank
But
you.
for now, they should just go through elocution with Wealthy Bell and learn a couple of stuff.
Okay, sure. I will get my group notice about. I'll get them to know about it. comes out, I'll really talk about it here so that it's interesting to get it. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I believe people will watch it later and they will have, if there's any question, I think you are in the platform, I can answer them. I think so.
Welcome.
Okay, all right. Bye bye.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, it was a great moment with choice. I see we John was talking about communication skills, and I believe this is a new normal, and a lot of people want to be part of what is happening. They want to bring their business online. So I believe this skill will help us to express ourselves. You have content, you have value to give out, but you have to express yourself out there and communicate your message to a way that people can be able to comprehend and what follow up what you are doing. Okay, thank you for joining. We apologize for the little challenge in the initial stage of this show, and we're going to work on this video and bring out the best so that you can be able to enjoy it and learn